I'm going to make a video about my bipolar experience and my medication reviews. I'll try to make this as short as possible. I think more of us should do this because it's a good way to get to know each other and just start some conversations that we really need to start having here. I was diagnosed bipolar and severe anxiety disorder when I was 19. I was going through some stuff, personal life-wise, and a lot of depression and a lot of anxiety and, just the feeling like, I could disappear and nobody would notice, which, I know wasn't true, but anyway. Went to my general doctor. She gave me a piece of paper that had all these yes or no, you have to check yes or no questions. And so by that piece of paper, she determined that I was bipolar. So she referred me to a psychiatrist who I very much disliked, but she was supposed to be the best. And she placed me on Seroquel, Paxil, which was later changed to Lexapro and neither of them worked. And Xanax, which I never really took either. I never took because I didn't like the way it made me feel, because I was already very, very sedated with the Seroquel. The Seroquel is scary. It's good. It's a nice break, but it's not a way to live. I couldn't live on Seroquel. I did for 3 years, and it's nice. Like I said, it's a nice break. It kills everything. It kills your sadness. It kills your happiness also. I never cried. I was never sad. I was never really happy either. And it was never really, my laughter was forced a lot of the time. I was really, seriously a different person when I was on Seroquel. Like, Seroquel took away all my inhibitions, and I did some really stupid things that I feel guilty for to this day. You don't notice risks. It completely takes away your inhibitions, like I say, and you do a lot of risk-taking activities. High-risk activities is, I guess, the best way to put that. Anyway. The first time I took Seroquel, it was only a 25 milligram, very, very, very low base start-off dose, and they amp you up very quickly to about 100 or 150, I can't remember. I ended up being on like 300 milligrams. I was extremely over-medicated. When I took 25 milligrams the first day, I didn't think it was going to do anything to me. I thought it was like an antidepressant, because I had taken just one antidepressant before, and they obviously, none of them has ever worked for me. So I took it, and I went to work, and I happened to work at a daycare, and I drove a van to go pick up kids and bring them back to the daycare, and it didn't hit me for about an hour and a half, which is strange because I hadn't ate anything that day. So about an hour and a half later, I'm very thankful, it didn't happen while I was driving, and I wish I had been warned more about what this could do, because it hit me like a ton of bricks. And I was sitting there, and we were coloring with the kids, and all of a sudden, it just got really, really shaky, and the world was melting. That sounds trippy as hell, but it's true. Everything suddenly didn't seem real, and I felt really kind of sick and just weak and just not knowing what's happening, scared, honestly. So I go to the bathroom, and I sit on the floor in the handicap stall and just try to like pull it together, just to have a break. And a couple of my older girls come walking in, and so I come out just to talk to them, and I don't want anybody to suspect anything's wrong. And I come out, and I try to talk to him, being, what's up, and things like that. And the next thing I know is I woke up on the floor, and I thought that I had broken my teeth out because my mouth was full of blood. And what actually happened was I had passed out face first into the paper towel dispenser. Didn't knock my teeth out, thankfully. So I was on this mixture for 3 years. You develop a tolerance to Seroquel very quickly, so it didn't always make me pass out. I told my doctor about it, and she just told me to take it right before bed, and that's what I did for 3 years. If I didn't get in bed fast enough, my husband or, you know, somebody would have to pick me up off the floor. I actually woke up in the middle of the night one time because I had to go to the bathroom, and, you know, as I come back in the bedroom, we had a skateboard propped up against the bedroom wall, you know, with the sandpapery side facing out. I don't know what it's called. And I fell on it and peeled the skin from my hip all the way up my side. That was not something nice to happen when you're half asleep at 2 a.m. Anyway, so I was on that for a long time. I never really took the Xanax, like I said. I passed out more than once with the Seroquel. I actually passed out twice while driving. Had to crawl out the passenger side window one time when I wrecked into a ditch. Anyway, nobody was ever hurt. I only just got minor scrapes or burns from the powder in the airbag. But anyway, in the meantime, I had met somebody. We were best friends for 3 years, and we got married. And he went back to school, and we had to move to Tulsa. So we moved to Tulsa, and I had to go to a free clinic because we didn't have insurance at the time. So they switched me all over. I told them that Seroquel was very sedating, and that's all I told them. I said that was my only problem. And I had stopped taking the Xanax a long time ago. And so they changed me over very, very quickly to Risperdal, Wellbutrin, and Vistaril. Vistaril is nice. Vistaril will help you go to sleep, but it helped me go to sleep, but it didn't keep me asleep, you know. Wellbutrin never worked for me either. No antidepressant ever has. The Risperdal is evil. It's evil. I don't ever approve of Risperdal. I know some people claim it's this big miracle drug, and they give it to children, and you know, all this stuff. I've watched documentaries and things about it, and yeah, it does. I know it must help some people, but it almost killed me. About 6 weeks in, I started hallucinating a lot. I couldn't ride in a car without having panic attacks because I would hallucinate blood on the pavement and think that it was my blood and we were gonna die. I also had a very movie-like, really real hallucination about a hammer that I found on the kitchen table one night, and I saw someone beating me to death with it, and I threw up. And I knew that this was getting serious, so I knew it was one of my medications. So I stopped taking the Wellbutrin, thinking it was the Wellbutrin, because I know that antidepressants have a very large risk of making people suicidal. Well, it's not large, but for younger people, it's, you know, more prominent. Anyway, so I stopped taking it, but it just keeps getting worse. It ends up getting so bad that I actually stopped all of it cold turkey for 3 months. I had to get my husband to drive me to my mom's because it was really bad. And I told him I just couldn't be left at home alone when he went to school during the day because I was that scared about what I might see or think, or I don't know. At this point, I'm scared to be by myself. And so I stayed at my mom's for 3 months. I came off all of it cold turkey, just swimming in a swimming pool, and I wish I could say that I, did yoga or something healthy to help me, but I didn't. I actually picked up some very, not healthy habits while coming off of this, but still, there was some major life decisions I made while floating in a pool, and, I came off all of it just swimming and drinking and smoking and blowing stars at the sky and making decisions and thinking about life, and there was more than one life decision made in water when I was swimming around. So I ended up being okay. I actually made it, which was, woohoo! But anyway, so I swore I would never, ever, ever go back on any sort of medication ever again. No amount of benefit would ever be worth that ever again, even the possibility of it ever happening again. So I was off medication for 2 years. Along comes a bouncing baby boy, And I'm very thankful I wasn't on any medication when I got pregnant, because it's very dangerous to be on these kinds of medications if you get pregnant. You know, being a chick on this stuff is dangerous. You have to think about a lot of things. And I'm probably going to end up having to come off of it again in a year or two or whenever, you know. And, you know, going back on and off all of these chemicals is it takes a toll on your body and your mind, actually. Before I took Risperdal, you know, things have changed for me since I've taken Risperdal, because it permanently damaged some of my thought processes. You know, my memory is shit, and you know, it's been 3-4 years now since I stopped taking it, and it destroyed my memory. It also made me very, very OCD. And I've always had a little bit of a neat freak tendency, except for when I was a teenager and my room was a disaster. But anyway, since I've moved out on my own, I've been a very kind of a neat freak type of person. But since taking the Risperdal and going through what I went through, I couldn't leave home with dishes in the sink because I felt like I couldn't breathe. You know, I checked everything multiple times. It was, you know, I had to make sure the door was locked. I had to make sure the oven was off. I had to, you know, just had to check everything a million times. And that's still how it is, except now I decided to go back on medication when my son was 6 months old, because the panic attacks started coming back. I was, you know, I'm a new mom. I didn't know what I was doing, you know, and I don't have any family in the state that I'm currently in. And you know, it's to be expected. I was very stressed out, and I just hoping I was doing the right thing and, you know, feeding him the right things. And, you know, on top of that, I had kind of a traumatic birth experience. But anyway, not getting off into that subject. So panic attacks started coming back when he was about 6 months old. So I go to the doctor, and it took me a while to find one. I had to go to about 3 or 4 before I found one that wasn't an ass or wasn't going to charge me $200 a week. And so I love this doctor. He is the best doctor I have ever been to, and first male doctor I've ever been to. And I could recommend him to anybody in the North Texas area. Anyway, he currently has me on Lamictal, Cymbalta, and Ativan. The Lamictal seems to be doing pretty good with me. I made it past the first 6 weeks where you can get the life-threatening rash. So I've been taking it about 9 months now, and so I haven't obviously had a rash problem or anything like that. I've never heard of a life-threatening rash, but apparently that's a side effect of this medication in the first 6 weeks that you can possibly develop. The Cymbalta, it's just like any other antidepressant. I don't know if it's helping or not. My OCD streak has definitely been calmed down, so one of them is obviously helping, though I don't know which one. The Ativan, at first it helped me sleep. It did. It helped me sleep, but it doesn't anymore. And then he's upped it a couple of times and changed the timing of it when I take it and this and that, and I don't know. It still is just not helping. I have to sleep on the couch most of the nights, and I hate it. Or I tend to chew a hole in my lip, as you can see. Yeah, I do that kind of crap in my sleep. It's fun. I also have these really crazy dreams, but apparently I've heard that a lot of bipolar people have dreams like this. I don't know if anybody else out there does, but yeah, it's pretty bad. But that is what I'm on right now. That is my doctor's cocktail for me. I'm glad to be doing better. It's nice, though I do hate taking medications, just with all the chemicals that's in them. I didn't know that so many names. Risperdal, the one that I couldn't take, the one I hate, Risperdal. I didn't know that it had Adderall in it. Apparently it has a lot of different medications, like trash can, like just thrown together in this pill. And so who knows what it was that I had a reaction to. I don't know, but maybe some of you out there are taking Risperdal and it works great for you, and I'm so happy. I want all of you to find the best medication for you. I think I finally have found one. The Lamictal seems to be working pretty well. If I can just figure out how to make myself sleep, I think I would be on a pretty good road. So anyway, more of you should make videos like this so we can, you know, talk and start conversations and things like that. So anyway, thanks for watching.